Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a really interesting document you sent us. Looks like someone's ready to become a master persuader with words.
That's right, we're diving into all the secrets of great copywriting.
And to help us decode all of it, we're looking at Copywriting Frameworks, Formulas, and Checklists by Kit Sadgrove.
That's the one.
So we're talking catchy headlines, compelling body copy.
Oh, and of course, those irresistible calls to action that make you want to click buy now.
Exactly. Those are the best.
It's really quite fascinating how much strategy goes into making marketing messages that actually work.
It really is. There's a whole science behind it.
And these frameworks we're talking about today really give you a peek behind the curtain of that world.
Yeah, Sadgrove makes a pretty strong argument about why these frameworks matter so much.
Yeah, how so?
Well, he says they can be a real secret weapon, especially if you're ever struggling with writer's block,
Oh, that makes sense.
because they give you that structure, that starting point.
And they can save you so much time.
Plus, he says they help make sure your copy hits all those persuasive points you need to really connect with people.
So it's like having a cheat sheet for better marketing, but with a little bit of creative flair mixed in.
I like that. But that's the key, right? It's not about just blindly following formulas
Right. It's about understanding the principles behind them.
and then using that knowledge to bring your own unique voice to your writing,
Because those frameworks are there to guide you.
not to stifle your creativity.
Exactly.
One of the first frameworks that really caught my eye was FAB, features, advantages, benefits.
Ah, yes. FAB, the classic.
It basically boils down to this idea of selling the benefits, not just listing a bunch of features.
Absolutely.
Why is that so important?
Okay, well, think about it this way. Imagine you're buying a new phone.
Okay, I'm with you.
Are you more interested in the gigahertz of the processor or how amazing the camera is for capturing photos and videos?
Okay, yeah, I see your point.
People buy based on how a product will improve their lives, not just on a list of specs.
So it's not enough to just say, this phone has a 12-megapixel camera.
You gotta say, capture those unforgettable moments in crystal clear detail with our amazing 12 megapixel camera.
I like that. You've just taken a boring feature and turned it into something exciting.
You're speaking to the emotions, the desires.
Exactly, and Sadgrove uses this great example to illustrate this. He talks about a washing machine with a bubble button.
Oh yeah, what about it?
Well, the feature is the button itself. The advantage is that it helps disperse detergent more evenly.
Right.
But the benefit, the thing that truly matters to the customer,
Cleaner clothes.
exactly, it's all about cleaner clothes.
Makes sense.
Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this can be, but how do we take this idea and actually apply it to our own marketing? How do we start highlighting those benefits?
Well, it all starts with understanding your audience.
Okay, so who are we talking to?
What are their pain points, their aspirations?
Got it.
Once you have a clear picture of their needs and desires, you can start positioning your product or service as the perfect solution.
So instead of just saying our software has a user-friendly interface,
We could say something like, spend less time struggling with technology and more time focusing on what matters most with our intuitive software.
perfect. You're shifting the focus from technical details to the actual benefits the customer will experience.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, now let's switch gears and talk about another framework that I found super interesting, PAS, which stands for Problem, Agitate, Solve.
Ah, PAS.
It almost sounds like a dramatic story arc.
It kind of is, right? You're tapping into the power of storytelling and emotion.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, you empathize with a problem the customer is facing.
So you're meeting them where they're at.
Then you kind of spur things up a bit.
Meaning,
You agitate that problem, making it feel more urgent, more painful.
okay, so you're making them really feel it.
And finally, you swoop in with your product or service as the hero of the story.
I love it. The hero that saves the day. And Sadgrove mentions this really cool example of an ad agency in Australia that used PAS to help revitalize a struggling hair treatment business.
Interesting.
They realized that focusing on all the technical details of the product just wasn't resonating with people.
No one wants to hear about all that.
So they shifted gears and started talking about this universal problem that we all experience, a bad hair day.
Oh, I can relate to that for sure.
Right. And it was so smart because it connected with people on an emotional level, that frustration and self-consciousness of a bad hair day.
And their product became the solution.
Exactly. But wouldn't this approach be a bit, I don't know, manipulative?
It's a valid concern, but the key is to use it ethically.
So how do we make sure we're not crossing that line?
Well, you're not trying to invent problems or blow them out of proportion.
Right.
You're simply highlighting a genuine problem that your audience is already facing.
Okay, and offering a solution that can genuinely help them.
Exactly. It's all about empathy, not exploitation.
Got it. So PAS is about understanding the emotional impact of a problem, not just the problem itself.
Precisely.
Now, I'm curious, are there any situations where PAS might not be the best approach?
That's a great question. It's particularly effective when you're dealing with a problem that has a strong emotional component.
Okay, so emotional problems, PAS is the way to go.
But if the problem is more rational or practical, something that doesn't really tug at the heartstrings.
Then maybe a different framework would be a better fit.
Exactly.
Now, Sadgrove mentions a few variations of PAS, like PADS and PASTOR.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones.
What's the benefit of using these expanded frameworks?
Well, they offer a more nuanced approach, allowing you to really tailor your message to different situations.
Okay, so you can be more specific with your approach.
For instance, let's say your audience is already aware of other solutions and might be skeptical of your claims.
That makes sense.
PAS gives you a way to address those doubts head on.
So you're anticipating those objections and weaving in counter-arguments directly into your copy. And then PASTOR takes things a step further.
Yeah, by adding storytelling and social proof,
Oh, that's powerful.
which can be incredibly persuasive.
Okay, I'm starting to see how these different frameworks can be layered and combined to create a really compelling message.
It's like building blocks.
But before we get too deep into all those variations, I'm curious about something.
Yeah, what's that?
Sadgrove talks about this thing called the POSA framework.
Ah, POSA.
How does that tie into everything we've been talking about with PAS?
Well, POSA, which stands for Problem, Obstacle, Solution, Action, is all about understanding the root cause of the problem.
So it's not just about identifying the problem, it's about digging deeper.
You got to get to the core of why that problem exists.
And why is that so important?
Because once you understand that root cause, you can craft a solution that's much more persuasive and effective.
Okay, that makes sense.
Let's go back to that bad hair day example.
Okay, I'm with you.
Instead of just saying, our product will give you amazing hair,
Which, let's be honest, sounds pretty generic.
you can dig deeper and say something like, our product is formulated with special ingredients that target the specific causes of frizz and dryness, giving you hair that looks and feels amazing.
Ah, now you're getting specific.
You're addressing the problem at its source, not just treating the symptoms.
I see, it's about getting to the heart of the matter.
Exactly. And that level of depth and understanding makes your message much more credible and convincing.
This is starting to feel like a detective mission. Uncovering clues, connecting the dots, and building a case for why our product or service is the ultimate solution.
Love that analogy.
But with all these frameworks and variations, it can feel a bit overwhelming.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to take in.
How do we know which one to use and when?
That's where experience and experimentation come in.
So there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Not really. The best approach is to familiarize yourself with the different frameworks, understand their strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, so learn the tools of the trade.
And then choose the ones that feel right for you and your specific goals.
Got it. Build your toolkit and then select the right tool for the job.
Exactly.
Okay, before we move on to the next framework, there's one more thing I want to touch on.
What's that?
Sadgrove talks about this concept of sticky content.
Ah, content that stays with you.
Right. Information that actually sticks with the reader.
That's so crucial in today's world, right?
Absolutely. There's so much information out there competing for our attention.
You need your message to cut through all that noise.
He talks about the rule of one.
Oh yeah, focusing on one key message per piece of content.
Why is that so important?
Well, it's all about clarity.
Okay, so keep it simple.
When you try to cram too much information into one piece of content,
It gets lost in the shuffle.
exactly, your message becomes diluted and less memorable.
So you need to distill your message down to its essence.
Find that one key takeaway that you want your audience to remember.
And how do we know which message to focus on?
That's where the so what test comes in.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
The so what test forces you to constantly ask yourself, why should the audience care about what I'm saying?
So you're checking for relevance.
Exactly. You want to make sure your message is meaningful to your target audience.
This reminds me of that example Sadgrove uses about Google.
Oh yeah, what about it?
He says that simply stating Google lets you search keywords is factually correct.
Right, but it's kind of boring.
It doesn't really answer that so what question.
It doesn't tell us why we should care.
But if you rephrase it and say, Google connects you to answers to any question you have from anywhere instantly,
Ooh, that's much better.
suddenly it becomes much more compelling and relevant.
You're speaking directly to the user's needs and desires.
Exactly.
That's a great example of how the so what test can transform a bland statement into a powerful message.
It's all about shifting the focus from what you're saying to why it matters to the person on the receiving end.
Exactly.
It's starting to see how all these pieces fit together.
It's all connected.
We're not just throwing frameworks around randomly. We're crafting a strategic approach to persuasive writing, step by step.
It's a process.
And it's fascinating.
It really is, and we're just scratching the surface.
There's so much more to explore.
a whole world of copywriting strategies and techniques waiting to be discovered.
I can't wait.
Okay, so now that we've got a good handle on some of those core frameworks,
Yeah, like FEB and PAS.
let's look at some ways to make your copy even more memorable and impactful.
I'm all ears.
One technique Sadgrove talks about is the rule of three.
The rule of three. I'm intrigued.
It's actually a really simple principle, but it can be super powerful.
Okay, tell me more.
It's all about the way things grouped in threes just naturally appeal to us.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, think about famous phrases like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Stop, drop, and roll of any VD. There's just something satisfying and memorable about that structure.
You're right. I never really thought about it that way.
And it's not just about catchy slogans or famous phrases. You can use this in so many ways in your copy.
Like how?
Think about sentence structure, paragraph breaks, even the overall organization of your copy.
So it's about creating that rhythm and balance.
Exactly. It adds a sense of completeness.
Okay, I'm on board with the rule of three. It makes things stick.
But what about connecting with the reader on a more personal level?
That's important too, for sure.
That's where the magic of you comes in.
You, like talking directly to the reader.
Exactly. It's the most direct and personal way to address your audience.
So instead of saying, this product is amazing, we'd say, you'll love how amazing this product is.
You got it. But it's more than just swapping in the word you here and there.
It's a whole mindset shift.
Right. You want to shift the entire focus of your copy to be about the reader.
Their needs, their desires, their experiences.
Exactly. When you use you effectively, you're inviting the reader into a conversation.
Making them feel like you're speaking directly to them.
And that can be really powerful.
It's like that old saying in advertising. Features tell, but benefits sell.
And using you is all about putting those benefits front and center, framing them from the reader's perspective.
Okay, I'm liking this. Now, I want to dig into some of those creative strategies Sadgrove talks about in the book.
Me too. There are some really good ones.
One that caught my eye was slice of life. What's that all about?
Slice of life is all about showing your product or service in those everyday situations, making it feel relatable.
So like real people, real problems.
Exactly. It's about moving beyond those sterile product demos and showing how your offering fits into real life.
Like those commercials where they show a family using a new cleaning product to tackle a messy kitchen.
Or a car ad where they're driving through a bustling city or a beautiful mountain landscape.
Right, you're painting a picture of how that product can actually enhance someone's life.
It makes it easier for them to imagine themselves using it.
And it's not just limited to commercials, right?
Nope. You can use this approach in website copy, social media posts, even email marketing.
It's about finding those relatable moments that resonate with your audience.
And showing them how your offering fits into their world.
Okay, so we've got slice of life for relatability. What about surprise?
Surprise, that's a good one.
What are your thoughts on using that?
Well, it's all about creating those unexpected moments that grab the reader's attention.
Like a plot twist in a commercial.
Exactly. Or a headline that makes you do a double take.
I remember seeing this ad for cooking oil that claimed their recycling service was as fast as a Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
That was definitely unexpected.
It was funny, and it made you remember the brand.
So it's about using humor and a little exaggeration to make your message more engaging.
That's the idea. It's about standing out from all the noise.
But it's not about being shocking just for the sake of it.
Right. The surprise needs to be strategic.
It has to tie back to your product or brand message in a meaningful way.
Otherwise, it's just a gimmick.
Okay, slice of life for relatability, surprise, for grabbing attention. Now, what about those times when we need to dial up the emotion?
Well, there's sadvertising.
Sadvertising, what's that?
It's about using sadness or those really heart-wrenching stories to evoke a strong emotional response.
Ooh, That's a powerful one.
It can be, but it needs to be done carefully.
Why do you say that?
Well, you don't want to come across as manipulative or insincere.
Okay, I see what you mean.
The emotion has to feel genuine.
And it needs to connect to your message in a way that makes sense.
Exactly, like those insurance commercials that show families dealing with a devastating loss.
Oh yeah, those can be tough to watch.
But they're effective because they tap into our desire for security and reassurance.
And they reinforce that message of being there for you in times of need.
Exactly, so it's about tapping into real emotions, not just exploiting them for shock value.
Got it. Sadvertising is a powerful tool, but it needs to be used responsibly.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's talk about exaggeration. This one seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's all about using hyperbole to make a point.
The best pizza in the world.
Exactly, or a cleaning product that will make your house sparkle like a diamond.
It's about creating that memorable impression, even if it's a bit over the top.
And it often involves a bit of humor and wit, which makes your brand feel more approachable.
Like that cooking oil with the super fast Ferrari recycling service.
Exactly. No one really believes it literally, but it gets the point across in a fun and memorable way.
Okay, so exaggeration can be a good tool when used strategically.
Definitely.
Now, I want to circle back to storytelling for a minute, because it seems like it plays a role in almost every framework we've talked about.
It's true. Storytelling is fundamental to the way we connect with each other.
Why is that so important in copywriting?
Well, stories help us make sense of the world.
They help us understand and relate to information.
They help us remember things.
And it's not about writing long, drawn-out novels, right?
No, not at all. Even a short anecdote or a customer testimonial can be incredibly effective.
It's about finding those relatable moments and characters that your audience can connect with.
Remember that insurance commercial we talked about earlier with the guy wading through the floodwater?
Oh yeah, the one that made everyone want to buy flood insurance.
Exactly. It was so effective because it tapped into that fear of losing everything.
And it showed how the insurance company could be there for you in a time of crisis.
So it's not just about telling a story for entertainment. It's about using that story to reinforce your message.
Okay, so stories need to have a purpose. They need to tie back to your brand and what you're trying to say.
Makes sense.
All right, so we've talked about slice of life, surprise, advertising, exaggeration, and storytelling.
We've covered a lot of ground.
What other creative strategies does Sadgrove have up his sleeve?
Well, he talks about using celebrities and influencers in your ads.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
It's all about leveraging that power of association.
People are more likely to trust a product if someone they admire is using it.
Exactly. We see it all the time with athletes and movie stars endorsing everything from cars to soft drinks.
But that can get pretty expensive, can't it?
It can, but that's where influencer marketing comes in.
Ah, the power of social media.
Exactly. Influencers are like everyday celebrities who have built a following online.
And their recommendations carry a lot of weight with their followers.
It's like getting a recommendation from a trusted friend, but that friend happens to have thousands or even millions of followers.
That's a lot of influence.
And because influencers are often focused on specific niches, you can find ones that align perfectly with your target market.
So you can get really targeted with your message.
Sadgrove gives an example of an Instagram user with tons of followers who reviewed a line of outdoor gear.
Perfect for reaching outdoor enthusiasts.
It's a great way for a company to get its products in front of a highly engaged audience.
Okay, so celebrity and influencer ads are all about borrowing credibility.
You're tapping into that existing trust and admiration.
What about when you need to set your product apart from the competition more directly?
That's where comparative copy comes in.
Okay, tell me more.
It's all about highlighting what makes your product better by comparing it directly to a competitor.
Like those commercials where they show one brand of paper towels absorbing a spill faster than another.
Or car ads that boast about having more horsepower or better fuel efficiency.
Right, it's a pretty direct way to showcase your product's strengths.
It can be very effective, but there are rules about how you can do it.
Like what?
You can't make false claims about your competitors.
Right, it has to be truthful and accurate.
There are legal and ethical guidelines you need to follow.
Okay, so comparative copy is a powerful tool, but it needs to be used responsibly.
Absolutely.
Now, this next one might seem a bit dark, but Sadgrove talks about using fear as a creative strategy.
Fear can be a powerful motivator.
But is it ethical to use it in marketing?
It's a valid concern, and it definitely needs to be handled with care.
Okay, I'm listening.
But think about ads for home security systems or life insurance.
Okay, I see what you mean.
They're tapping into our fear of loss or harm.
To make their products seem more appealing.
Exactly.
Or those toothpaste commercials that warn about the horrors of gingivitis and plaque.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones. They make you afraid of neglecting your oral hygiene.
So you rush out and buy their toothpaste.
But the key is to present your product or service as the solution to that fear.
So you're not just scaring people, you're offering a way to alleviate that fear.
Exactly. Like those public service announcements about the dangers of texting while driving.
They're trying to change your behavior, make you think twice before you pick up your phone.
And hopefully save lives in the process.
So it's about motivating positive action, not just manipulating people's emotions.
Exactly.
This has been an amazing journey through the world of creative copywriting strategies. We've covered so much ground.
From slice of life to surprise to advertising and fear.
It's clear that there's so much more to effective copywriting than just following formulas.
It's about understanding your audience and crafting those compelling narratives.
And having a whole toolbox of creative strategies to draw from.
It's a fascinating blend of creativity, psychology, and strategic thinking.
And I think we've both learned a lot along the way. So we've covered a ton of ground already, all those different frameworks and creative strategies.
That's a lot to take in.
But there's one more area I want to touch on before we wrap things up.
What's that?
Sadgrove spends a whole section talking about variations of the classic AIDA formula.
You know, attention, interest, desire, action.
That's the one.
Seems like everyone's got their own spin on it.
It really does.
It is interesting to see how this basic formula has evolved over time.
Totally. There are so many versions out there. AIDSIA, the 4 Ps, some with so many letters I can barely keep track.
But the interesting thing is that they all come back to those same core principles.
Grab attention, spark interest.
Build desire, and ultimately drive action.
It's like they're all different roads leading to the same destination. So it's not about memorizing every single variation out there.
Right.
It's about understanding those underlying principles.
And then figuring out how to apply them to your own unique message and audience.
Make it your own.
Exactly. Some of those variations do offer some interesting nuances, though.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, for instance, the 6+1 formula, that one really emphasizes the importance of credibility.
Okay, so it's not just about making a persuasive argument.
You have to build trust, too. Show that your brand is reliable.
So you're weaving that credibility into every part of your copy.
Exactly. It makes your message more believable, more trustworthy.
I like it.
And then there's ACCA.
ACCA.
Sadgrove says that one's especially well-suited for longer pieces of copy.
Ah, so more in-depth content.
It's about gradually revealing information, building a case, and guiding the reader towards a logical conclusion.
Kind of like we're doing right now with this deep dive, taking you on a journey through the world of copywriting.
That's a great way to put it.
We're breaking it down step by step, giving you time to absorb all this information.
And hopefully sparking some ideas along the way.
I hope so. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive into the art and science of persuasive writing.
We've covered a lot of ground.
From FAB and PAS to those more creative techniques like slice of life and surprise.
It's been quite a journey.
And I think it's safe to say that effective copywriting is so much more than just plugging in formulas.
It's about knowing your audience, telling compelling stories, and using language to connect with people on a deeper level.
And having a whole arsenal of creative strategies at your disposal.
It's a blend of art and science, that's for sure.
And I think we've both learned a lot today.
Me too.
But what does all this mean for you, our listener? Well, you've got a whole toolbox full of copywriting techniques now, ready to put into action.
And remember, it's not about blindly following rules.
It's about understanding the why behind those rules.
And finding your own voice.
Experiment, try different things.
Always be testing and refining your message.
Because the most compelling copy comes from combining those proven techniques with your own unique insights and creativity.
That's where the magic happens.
And here's one final thought to chew on.
I'm listening.
Kit Sadgrove argues that the best copywriting sometimes breaks all the rules.
Interesting.
So once you've mastered the fundamentals,
Don't be afraid to bend or even break those rules to create something truly unique and memorable.
exactly, that's how you stand out from the crowd.
And make a lasting impression.
Now go forth and write persuasively.